Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the IRL PlayStation F3 League, brought to you in partnership with Nailcode Hall, Gridfinder.com, and Driver61. First of all, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Mark, or DeLange93. Together with me in the commentary box is Sap, also called Ellen. Ellen, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, thank you. It's good to be here with you. I'm looking forward to being back in the commentary box and fun tonight. Some drivers in here we've both raced against, and there's some new drivers as well. So it should be an interesting start to the new season here at Invictus.
Definitely. It's good to have you here, mate. And well, you just mentioned it. It's the lineup. Some guys we raced against, and well, having a quick watch at the lineup for this season, it looks promising. If you look at the names, who do you think who will stand out this season?
Well, I think the Mercedes team is looking particularly strong, to be perfectly honest. JP and Towerley, I've raced against both of them. They decent competitors themselves, and Stephen as well. I've raced against him many times here in Invictus, and when Stephen finds that sweet spot, he's usually a tough opponent to beat. So there's a few decent names in here, and I'm particularly looking forward to seeing some of these guys who I've never seen before. So I'm really intrigued to see how this will go tonight.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And well, I also raced a couple of guys, of course. And well, of course, Sir Spot, he will be driving the Haas. He's like an IRL veteran, I would say. I expect pretty big things from him as well. He got the experience, and he's been in a lot of races. He knows what to do to fight at the front. But yeah, he's not the only one. And as you mentioned, the new guys, it's looking to be a really good season. And well, let's see what they can do tonight. I'll really be hoping it will be as close as possible in the qualifying. And yeah, let's see.
Yeah, definitely. And I think with the new season and being the first race of the season, everybody's got a chance, haven't they? Nobody knows really who's going to be the fastest. I can't wait to see what qualifying's going to be like. Because me personally, I don't know about you, Mark, but I can't predict who's going to get the pole position tonight. We've got a really full grid this evening. You've just mentioned Spud. He's been there and done that, hasn't he? And who knows? Could we get some of the new guys at the very front? Could we get a veteran of Invictus at the front? I'm really looking forward to seeing who could do what. I guarantee you the one thing though, Mark. I don't think the weather's going to play any ways in this race, being that we're in Bahrain this evening.
No, I cannot see it being a wet race, but you never know. I have seen a lot of weird things. I remember one race in Abu Dhabi was in the rain. But yeah, if this is going to be a wet race, that will be insane. So let's just say it will be dry. That's like a 99% guarantee. But yeah, one thing I want to point out, looking at the lineup, I think Red Bull is looking really strong for this season. I'm just looking at it right now, and with someone like Daryl and Louis, they have shown incredible pace. Yeah, I think they will be up there.
Yeah, I'm sure they will, as the lobby is now readying up, so it'll not be long now till we get underway, get under the lights in Bahrain, and we get to see some cars on track, similar to today, Mark, in the real F1. We finally saw some cars back on track, and everything now always seems to start like it's getting back to normal, doesn't it? You go through that winter break and you never think it's ever going to come back around, but everything's starting to get back to how it was. We're racing again here in Invictus, and we're seeing cars on track in Barcelona. So yeah, it's an exciting day here for both Invictus and in F1. So yeah, the guys just loading up now. It's going to be tough to see what sort of lap times these guys will be setting, but Yeah, they're just ready to load up now, and we'll be underway shortly for this qualifying.
Yeah, on lap times we will be. I honestly have no idea if looking at the times done in the Monday's F1 League of IRL and yesterday's F2 League. I would say somewhere in the low 27s, maybe. I think that would
Let's
be
see
a decent guess, but never know. But we'll find out in the next 18 minutes because it's underway and it's starting. So let's see what they can do.
I think we were both right, weren't we? The sky is pure clear this evening, so no chance of rain during qualifying, and I highly doubt we're going to get any rain whatsoever in the race as well. So the guys are just sat in their garages waiting to go. And what do you think? What would you do, Mark, in this situation? You're pretty much a veteran of this league yourself. Would you be going straight out to a set of softs, or would you like to have a feel for the track and maybe throw on a set of mediums first off?
I think I would just go straight out on the softs, to be honest. You know, I think most guys will do the laps on the soft tires because that's, in my opinion, the best starting tire. But so I would just do 2 or 3 runs on the softs and just build up the confidence during the session. But on the other hand, maybe the alternate strategy will pay off in the end of a race. So yeah, it could go either way.
Yeah, it could. And I'm just looking at one of my former teammates. He's in the Aston Martin. That is Tynus. Tynus there on a set of mediums he's come out on with a nice shiny chrome black helmet there. He's looking like he could potentially be quick. Tynus, I like Tynus. He seems like a decent guy. He's fast, but I think that consistency is just sometimes let him down. I think when he is fast, he's really fast, and he'll be hoping to put that Aston Martin on the front row tonight as he's winding himself round for his first flying run season. So, Mark, I'm going to keep an eye on him. I'll be interested to see who you keep an eye on as we go for our first flying runs.
Yeah, well, first of all, I think I will look at one of the newer guys of the Invictus Racing League, and if I'm correct, Azurel will be just starting his lap as Louis picks up a 5-place grid penalty, if I saw that correctly.
Yeah.
I didn't saw what happened there. Sorry for that.
It was a collision. I didn't see who it was, but he's hit somebody out on track, and that's a disaster start for Louis, really. So no matter where he starts now, he's going to be starting 5 places lower, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for him, but hopefully it's a long race, so he can make up for it, of course. I'm riding a board with Azurel at the moment, and it's looking pretty good. He hit the curb a little bit too hard, I think, in Sector 2, but this is always a tricky corner, but he seems to be getting it right. So we will be close to be finding out what the first laps will do and what the first banker laps will be.
Yeah, I'm just still keeping an eye on Tynus. He's set purple first sector. I don't know if that's the game still telling everybody to set the first purple sector, but he's set the purple first sector and he's coming up to the final corner now, and there's some slow running cars here. It looks like there is a really slow running Red Bull in the final corner as they come into the pit, so hopefully that doesn't affect him too much. It doesn't affect him. The Tynus will be coming round the line as real as you watching 128.3. Can Tynus beat him? No, he can't, but wow, that's close, Mark.
That's
128.39.
On the medium tires.
Yeah.
So that's impressive, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's see what JP will do. He is crossing the line right now.
Sorry to interrupt you, Mark. Tynus has spun it at turn 3 there, completely slowing it down, and he must have just took too much out of his tyres there and ended up facing the wrong way in the middle of the track. Hopefully that didn't affect anybody on their flying lap.
No, I don't hope that will. In the meantime, JP set the fastest time with a 27.5. That's a really good time, I think. I was predicting earlier like a low 27. If guys are doing a 27.5 already on the banker lap, that's really impressive, I would say. So I might be, they might get a bit quicker, I guess.
Yeah, who knows? We could see them dip into the 26 maybe. So JP, he's the banker at the moment. I'm just keeping an eye on Daryl Whiffen at the moment in the Red Bull. You was hyping up the Red Bulls. He's coming across the line to finish his first flying lap, and he jumps up into fourth place with 1:28.276. There's a there at the moment. There's those three and the 27s, the top three, and then everybody fourth down is pretty close at the minute. So yeah, mixture of guys. Bear in mind, Daryl set his time on another set of mediums, similar to Tynus. So Daryl looking quite strong there on a set of mediums, up into fourth place already.
Yeah, it's looking to be fairly competitive, and Daryl is done the time on the medium tires, so he might be looking to go on the alternate strategy. As I was saying, that Sursput just crossed the line. He's done a decent lap in P7, I think. With his experience, I expect him to be a little bit higher up the grid, but I'm sure he will do another run later on in this qualifying session.
Yeah, and I've just seen that Daryl's teammate Louis is back out. He'll be looking to rectify whatever mistake happened earlier with that collision. He's also, similar to his teammate Mark, he's also out on a set of mediums, so it'll be interesting to see where he shapes up on this first run. Can he get near his teammate or even above his teammate? Because that would make this a really strong start for the Red Bulls team. I know Louis does have that 5-place grid penalty, but it'll make the Red Bulls look really strong in the position they're in on those medium tyres.
Definitely. That's why I'm kind of surprised to see him out on the mediums. He got the 5-second time penalty. So I would expect him to be just like flat out and see how far he can get up. But maybe he is trying something different. I'm kind of surprised to see a lot of guys doing the run on the medium tires. I did not expect that to see. But it could be really interesting in the race. At the moment,
yeah,
I will be riding with Cost Messi. He is just starting his flying lap. He's in sector 2. It's always a tricky corner. He avoids the curb really nicely. Slight luck up, but he managed to make the apex. Let's see what this lap will bring him. He didn't have a lap time on the board at the moment. So let's see what he can do. He's going to enter sector 3 pretty soon, so we don't have to wait much longer. Oh, meanwhile, Louis, I just switched to him.
Yeah.
He lost it on the curb. That's really unfortunate.
I was just watching Louis, and it was going well up until that point, as we've just had a new fastest lap mark. David 46 has done a 1:27.514 on the soft tyres. Bear in mind, that's only fractionally faster than JP on the medium tyres in second place. So that's really interesting there. So David 46 there in the Ferrari, is that? I think that's the Ferrari, isn't it? Yes, that's the Ferrari. Yep. So yeah, currently we have a Ferrari on pole position.
Yeah, that's looking interesting. The track position can do a great lot on this track. The DRS train is like really here on this track. So the time difference between the soft and the medium is pretty big, but maybe the soft runners can just play it in their favor. We need to see and find out. The Alpine boys are going out at the same time. Maybe they are planning or something. Try a little bit of a cheeky slipstreaming on the long straight. You never know.
Is that something, Mark, you would try in qualifying? On round here?
No, I would not try it on this track. I think on this track you cannot get the enough advantage of it. Maybe on a track like next week in Monza.
Yeah.
It might be a better option for me personally, but you never know. Maybe it can give you like just the 1 or 2 tenths to get you just those places you wanted and give you an advantage, and especially the beginning of the race based on track position.
Yeah. I'm going to keep an eye on Jolly down in 12th place. He's started his flying lap now on the soft tyre in the Aston Martin. His teammate Tynus is up in 7th place from Jolly Owers.
Oh.
Talking to Tynus, look at that. Tynus has jumped straight to the top of the table. 1:27.508 mark. That's impressive.
That's a good lap. That's a good lap for Tynus there. Bringing the Aston Martin up to the professional pole. But let's see what the others can do. Azrael just crossed the line, but he didn't set a better lap time. Let's see if there will be some changes in this second rounds of run. It is looking really close at the top, but JP being in there. Was that time set on the mediums? Is that what it's saying on my screen?
It's what it's saying on my screen as well, and if that's the case, that's very impressive.
Oh no, he set the time on the softs.
Ah, well, just to let you know, Jolly is coming round the final corner now, and he's absolutely flying on these soft tyres. He should definitely improve. Where's it going to put him? It puts him up to 8th place, and not quite as close to his teammate as he'd like. His teammate did a 27.5 on the softs, whereas Jolly did a 28.4. So some time to improve there if he wants to try and get alongside his teammate to help him out for this race.
Yeah, definitely. He definitely wants to go to have another shot, and will be heading straight back to the pits, I imagine. Or he could have enough fuel in his car to get out another run. But yeah, let's see what he will do. If I was him, I would bring it back into the pits, I think. But yeah, let's see. Suspect is going on an out lap. Let's see if we can find someone who is on a hot lap. Oh, Steven looks to be on a hot lap here, so let's see what he can do. He's managing that really nicely without any lock up. Hit the apex really good. It's a long straight up to some really tricky corners. You know, this left-hander and the right-hander after can be really tricky to lose the rear. While Mkey is doing a 27.2. That's a good lap.
Yeah, that's a big lap. That's a big difference, isn't it? To Tynus there, about 3/10 of a second. So that's very impressive. So a minute mark, Ferrari are 1 3rd in this qualifying with 5 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, they're looking really good, and Mkey has like a gap of 2/10, which is quite a lot, to be fair. Steven puts it in P6, just behind his teammate in Michael Lutke, with a 27.7. So the McLaren is looking fairly strong as well, P5, P6, but from own experience I can say the track evolution is there on this track, and the last run there is a lot of time you can gain if you can nail it. But that's the thing around this track, it's so hard to do it consistently without making mistakes, and on a quali run you don't want to make mistakes, you just want to have it bang on, and that's a hard task. I don't know how you're feeling about Bahrain and the qualifying.
Well, it's ramping up, isn't it? But I'm quite surprised. So Spud down in 12th place. He's on a flying lap at the moment, but he's on a flying lap on the medium tyres. He is going much quicker than his current fastest lap. He's 8/10 up on his current fastest lap, so it should put him well into the 28s. Can this put him into the top 10 on the medium tyres? So Spud now coming round the final corner. He's currently in 12th. Where is this time going to put him? It's going to put him not quite in the top 10. It's in 11th, a 1:28.5 for Spud.
It's so close, but on the other hand, P11 is a really good spot to be in. You get the fresh tires. You can start on whatever tire you want. You can get like the fresh mediums, the fresh softs to get like just the edge on the top 10 in the first couple of laps. So P11, I wouldn't be too disappointed, I guess. P10 or P11, I would say P11 for me.
So we've got about 3 minutes left on the clock, Mark. Have you got your money on anybody? As we see David 46 with a 127.0. So currently, Mark, the Ferrari lockout at the front of this grid. David has absolutely smashed empty there. I was just about to ask you who's your money on, but David might have just sealed it.
Yeah, looking at this, it's got to be one of the Ferrari guys. They are really fast as it looks, and well, we got a yellow in sector 2. Daryl Wiven, 26.9.
Wow.
Professional pole. That's a good lap there. This is it. It's the final run. The track evolution took his thing, and well, let's see what the drivers can do with it. They're all capable of doing really good times. 26.9 is quick. It's a quick time. So let's see if anyone can get close to it. Who is on a fast lap? The two Merc guys are really close to each other. I think Charles might be on a fast lap. So let's see what he is doing. He took that near to perfect in sector 2, entering a difficult combination of corners. He avoids taking the curbs, which is good because they can unsettle the car really badly. Slightly misses the apex, a bit of oversteer at the exit. May cost him some. But so far he's looking good. He really wants to improve his P13 at the moment. He's out on the soft tire right now. So he will be looking to improve his own time. But will it be good enough to get himself into the top 10 or maybe even more? He's on the back straight, so just one corner to tackle for Towel. I'm not sure how to pronounce it correctly. Sorry if I did it wrong. Let's see what he will do. He's entering the start-finish straight right now. Will he improve? He's up to P9 with a 28.1. So he's into the top 10 at the moment. So, looking good for the race.
I've just been watching Tynus, and Tynus, to be fair to him, absolutely solid lap from him there, but it wasn't enough to improve on P4. He did improve to a 27.3 from a 27.5, but it wasn't quite close enough to remove Emke from third place. So it's looking like, Mark, unless we see anybody further down in the lower positions, that Daryl has taken this pole position with two pesky Ferraris behind him, ready to pounce at the beginning of this race.
Well, don't forget about Louis. His teammate is in P1. Louis is on a fast lap. So far, it's looking like a clean one. Whilst his butt has retired, he has seen enough. He will start at the back of a grid, but he will have the free tire choice. So he could be going long in the race. Let's see what Louis can do. He's going onto the start-finish straight right now. What time will he set? It's a 27.7, an improvement into P8. But I think that's not the time he really wanted to get.
No, and unfortunately, he won't be in the top 10, will he, Mark, with that 5-place penalty as well. So he'll be having to start on those soft tyres outside of the top 10, which will be a real pain for him. He'll not need that, especially if he's starting around guys who maybe want to start on medium tyres. It could prove to be a tricky race for him.
Yeah, definitely. I almost forgot about the grid penalty for him. That's unfortunate. Michael Lutke is slower than his own time was, so I guess this is it. Or the Delta is lying to me. You never know. Could be. Yeah, let's see what he can do. Oh, it's a 36. It's not a good lap. Is anyone still out on track? Emke entering the pits at the moment. I think this is it, and Daryl took the first pole position of the season around Bahrain in his Red Bull car with a 26.9. That's a really good lap. I got really close to my prediction though. Said a low
You
27.
did. You did definitely. It's this game before.
Well, that's a shame you don't get points for that. But yeah, I was close. People in the chat, who has impressed you most? Let us know. Let us know if you got any questions, of course. Looking at this qualifying results, in P1 we find ourselves Daryl. In P2, David 40, but he also got a 5-second grid penalty, Alan. I didn't see that. Maybe he was in a collision with Louis.
Maybe.
In third place, we got MK. Fourth place, Tines. Fifth place, JP. In sixth, we found ourselves the McLaren driver, Michael Lutke. In seventh, his teammate, O. Steven. In the 8th position, we found Louis, but he also suffers from that 5th place grid penalty. Azurel has gotten P9, Tauli P10, Cost Messi will find himself in P11, Jolly P12, Bruce Lee Harding in P13, Surspot P14, and at the back of the grid, JPH P15. Let's see what he can do. Ren Jans, you say, Michael with a not so good quali. Well, he could make up for it in the race, of course. So it's a long race all to play for, I guess. So yeah, let's see. And I'm also kind of interested in what the people outside of the top 10 will do. Will they go for the mediums? Will they go for the hard tires? Will they go for the softs?
What would you do in this place, Mark? What would you do? If you're outside the top 10 now, about to start this race, how would you approach this?
I think it depends on my raw pace. If I know I didn't do a good quali lap, but my pace is okay, I would start on the softs to just get close to the people in front. If my pace is not completely up there, I would say I would go for the mediums, because I think the mediums are the best race tire around this track. And also it will be interesting to see what kind of pit stops they will make. Will they do a 1-stop, a 2-stop? Will they go for the mediums, the hards? What do you think on this?
It's going to be interesting, isn't it? So Louis, with that 5-place grid penalty, starts now in 13th place, and he's surrounded by a whole host of medium tyres. Cost Messi, who will have moved up a place, he starts himself inside the top 10 in 10th place. And you've got Jolly, Bruce Lee, Sir Spud, and JPH at the back of the field, all on medium tyres. David 46 with that 5-place grid penalty finds himself behind both the McLarens. So it'd be very interesting to see how this race pans out, because I can imagine Emke and David 46 were thinking, we've got a good chance here to bully that Red Bull at the front and try and steal that first place. But now Daryl might be fancying himself a bit more, knowing that he's only got one pesky Ferrari to challenge. But overall, it's going to be fascinating to see. I don't know how this is going to play out. I honestly don't know the pace of these guys in race pace, so I'm really curious to see how it's going to go. But I'm going to want to keep an eye on, like, from 10th down on those medium tyres. Can they really cause a problem on those soft running guys further on and become a factor later on in the race when they do eventually go onto those soft tyres?
Yeah, that will be really interesting to see. And Louis in P13, he's on his soft tires, of course.
Yeah.
So he will have maybe like the better start out of all of them. So let's see what he can do, especially the first couple of laps, because his tires will be at a really good point to start it. Riding aboard with Daryl, he is crossing like the final turn right now, going up to the start-finish straight. So looking forward for the start of the race. Drivers are lining up. So I hope this will be a really good race in the IRL F3 League, brought to you in partnership with Nilcourt Hall, gridfinder.com and Driver61. Then Jans is just saying in the chat, Michael, O. Steven, Tines and Daryl are his title favorites for this season. Well, let's see what they can do in this race. There we go. The lights go out. There we go. The first race is underway, and it looks like the Red Bull of Daryl has a clean start. Oh, will the Ferrari of MK be side by side? There he goes. He's late on the brakes, I think. He's on the inside, but it will be the outside for the next turn too. So, oh no, MK, he is just spun out. That's really unfortunate for him. Meanwhile, Daryl is still in the lead with a healthy gap to Tinas in P2 of 4/10 already. It's looking promising so far for Daryl and for Tinas. They had a good clean start. What do you make of that start?
Well, I was keeping an eye on Louis and what you said potentially about him making a good start on those soft tyres, and he's found himself already into the top 10. He's 8th now. He was 7th. He's just been overtaken by Azrael in the Haas. So Louis with a really promising start. That's exactly what he needed at the start of this race, to get himself up into that top 10, fighting and see if he can push on and try and push towards that top 5. But that's really unfortunate, wasn't it, for MK after such a good qualifying, find himself right at the back of the grid. I just hope they haven't got any damage and they can try and push on and catch up to the back of the pack.
Definitely, definitely. I will be riding aboard with a JP here for a little moment. He has a gap of only 3/10 to Tinas in front. I should not have said that. The gap just increased to 4.5 tenths. Sorry for that. He is tucking himself into the slipstream. So far it looks to be like a really close race. People are close together. The top 7 are all within the DRS zone. And someone is off. Who was that? Tinas is off in his Aston Martin.
I didn't see what happened, Mark. I'll be honest, I was keeping an eye on Stephen, and I just saw Tinas in the gravel on the left-hand side. Unfortunately for Tinas, that's such a good start as well, wasn't it? He said he made a clean start, and I didn't quite see why he ended up in that gravel the wrong way around, but now he finds himself down in P14 just behind his teammate Jolly. So it's a really unfortunate situation, and during that as well, Mark, Cost Messi also picked up 3 seconds worth of time penalty. So right now we've got a top 3 of Daryl, JP and Michael. So yeah, David 46 as well up into P4. So that 5th-place grid penalty has not really hampered him much, has it?
No, not too much. He's done good so far. Suspert, meanwhile, is following Cost Messi really closely. He backs off a little bit in the long right-hander in Sector 3, at the beginning of Sector 3. But he will be looking to get his overtake done rather sooner than later, I think. He is close. He's only 4/10 entering start-finish now. Can he get a good exit to close up even more? Both drivers are on the medium tires, so they should be fairly close to each other. I'm watching Azrael now. He was thinking about doing the move on Saudi, but he just backs out of it at the very last moment. Did he get a good run now with the DRS? Will he try it? He is thinking about it. But he says no, not yet. I will wait for another lap to see what will play out.
I'm just looking a little further back from your battle, and that's the battle between Louis and Stephen. Unfortunately for Louis, since he lost that position to Azrael, Louis is just falling backwards. He's now 2 seconds behind Azrael, and he's got Stephen hot on his tail behind. Stephen within DRS, and DRS now activated. So Stephen, who wants to try and get past that Red Bull as quick as he possibly can, so he can try and catch up with his teammate Michael, who's currently having a battle there for P2, 3 and 4 by the looks of it.
Yeah, Michael just ran a bit wide. And David 40 has lost his car. Oh, no, that's really unfortunate for him. While Azrael picks up a 3-second time penalty. And there's a lot going on here. Louis been pushed a bit wide, and Stephen is the lucky man here.
Yeah.
He overtakes them
Stephen,
both.
he was been lining up Louis for a while, and I think Louis got a bit put off by David 46 having that spin. And I feel for David 46 because I don't know about you, but that long sweeping right-hander, I've lost it there myself. So it is incredibly frustrating when it happens. And when you click that wall, you've definitely got to have a front wing change, and that's what he's come in for, a front wing change for David Forrest. So unfortunately, Mark, we've gone from both Ferraris looking potentially like a race victor for one of them, and they're now see themselves both at the back of the field. That's really unfortunate for them this evening.
Yeah, definitely. While you were talking, O'Stephen did a really good move on Louis in his Red Bull. But Louis is trying to fight back. He is still only 3 tenths behind. They are entering a really tricky braking zone. It's one of the worst on the whole calendar for me personally. The front left to lock up, it's so easy to do. O'Stephen had a bit of troubles on the traction. Louis with DRS he decides to back out of it. He just wants to tuck in behind O'Stephen and maybe wait for the DRS straight. Could be a good idea too. Daryl, meanwhile, he is laughing. He's got a healthy gap, 3 seconds in the lead. Saudi and Michael really think, what do we need to do to stop this Red Bull?
He's looking very comfortable, isn't he, Daryl? We've got our first pit stop of the evening for Asriel. Asriel's come in early. Do you think that's early, or has he had an issue somewhere? I'm just watching his pit stop now. There's no front wing change. Is that an early pit stop, Mark? Lap 5?
I would say that's really an early pit stop, but Saudi is going back on Michael Lutke here. He's just been overtaken. This is a good battle. Michael Lutke keeps second place for now. Saudi will fight back. But to come back to you, I think lap 5, that's a really early pit stop. I would say that maybe he will do a 2-stop. He's on the mediums again, so I think that must be a 2-stop. Yeah, let's see. Emke has retired.
That's a shame.
That's a shame. I did not see what happened there. But he has retired from the session.
I'm really interested now, Mark. In 7th place, Bruce Lee Harding. He's one of the guys who started on the outside of the top 10 on medium tyres. Now he's just coming up to lap JP. There he goes. He's lapped JP. So now he's in the top 6. And he's not too far away from this battle between Louis and O'Stephen. He's on those medium tyres. So these guys, if they keep squabbling ahead of him, he's going to be in a really good position later on for a solid top 5 or even podium position when he eventually gets on that soft tyre. But as you can see, there's a battle at the front.
Yeah, I was just watching Tauri, his POV. He was trying the overtake on Michael Lutke there, but Michael was really late on the brakes and he is still in front. But he also got the DRS. Ooh, the Mercedes car there was really... I think he's touched the McLaren there, if I'm correct. I really hope he didn't, because that would cause wing damage, I think. While we're looking at this incredible helicopter shot, that's looking really good. We need to see that more. Saudi back to a 4/10 gap, but he is already back on the tail of Michael Lutke, and he is going for the overtake with the DRS. What will Michael Lutke do? Try to outbrake him? He definitely tries to do the switchback, but now they will go. No, they won't be side by side in the long right-hander. Saudi got the position back.
It's a good battle for second, but do you not think this is only playing into the hands of Darrell? Look at the gap he's got now. It's pretty much 6 seconds lead over this battle, and what it's also doing, Mark, is allowing both the Alpines in 6th and 7th to close in on this mega battle. Because they're squabbling for positions, these two Alpines on medium tyres are just closing in, and they're going to be sitting really pretty to carry on like this when they eventually come into their soft tyres.
Yeah, definitely. And while Michael Lutke just took the position back from Tauli on the start-finish straight with his DRS. So they are just switching back and forward. And Daryl and like you said, the Alpines, they are laughing, mate. They just like, come on, keep on fighting, guys. We are closing in. So yeah, that will be interesting, especially near to the end of the race to see what the tire wear will do.
I've just seen something interesting as well, Mark. JPH and Bruce Lee Harding have tactically switched positions. Bruce Lee Harding probably feeling like he was struggling a little bit on those medium tyres. Down the start-finish straight, they swapped positions. JP now being given the opportunity to go and chase after Louis in P5, and he's already gained on them compared to what Bruce Lee was doing. So JPH now with just about within a second of the Red Bull in P5. So this tactic of Alpine so far for them, I don't want to put commentators curse on them, Mark, is working out really nicely for him.
Yeah, this could be paying off for him. Louis will need to pass Steven as quickly as possible because otherwise JPH will be right in his gearbox within a couple of laps, I imagine. Let's see, Louis is going into the pits, same for Sauli as well. Pit route lap 8, I really think that's still a bit early. Going to the mediums, I think you can manage to stretch them to the end from here on, but your tires, they won't be any good at the end of the race.
What sort of lap would you come in then if you think that's early?
Well, I would have come in around lap 10 or 11 if I was starting on the softs. I would stretch them to lap 10, lap 11 I think, and then box for the mediums. But yeah, that can also depend on tire wear, of course.
Yeah.
That's of course driver dependent, and I just got a message from JP in our chat. His electricity just cut out, so that's why he is not racing anymore, I guess. His car is ghosting as well. He's still in P7 though. But that's really unlucky for you, mate. You were doing a good job, and to lose it like that, that is like the worst. You were just saying, Alan, JPA got in front of Bruce Lee Harding, but it looks like Bruce Lee has got the Asham in again. Maybe it was just tactical to save the ERS, because the ERS of Bruce Lee Harding is only at 8% at the moment. That's really low. While JPH has 65%, I believe.
The Daryl Whiffen, just to let you know, and Stephen are into the pits. Our race leader is into the pits, and Michael now takes the lead of the race. And I just wanted to point out the reason why JPH was losing time to Bruce Lee on that lap. JPH had a massive tank slapper going into one of the corners, got all out of shape, and lost at least half a second on that lap alone. So I reckon that's the reason why Bruce Lee Harding has gained time back on his teammate. But at the moment now, you've got the McLaren of Michael in first, with the two Alpine second and third, with Sir Spud. We've not mentioned him much in this race, have we? But Sir Spud has been quietly getting on with it, and he's now in P4 and he's gaining on these Alpines.
Yeah, he is doing really good. He's keeping it clean. He's in P4 at the moment on the hot mediums, and he will have the fastest tire at the end of the race on a fresh set of softs, I can imagine. But what is really interesting, Steven and JP actually go for the hard tires. I did not see that one coming. I don't know about you, but I was thinking most guys would do the one-stop soft to medium or the other way around.
Yeah, I didn't see that at all. That is an interesting strategy, because I can't imagine those hard tyres are going to be that great around here compared to those medium tyres. So let's see if that strategy pays off for them. And still keeping an eye on the front as now Michael comes into the pits, which will now give the lead to the two Alpines, with Sir Spud hot on the tails of them. And there's literally no time at all here between the top three. Look at that, they're separated by absolutely nothing. And I think the problem they've got, Alpines, here is I think they need to possibly switch their cars back around here again, because they could end up getting mugged by Sir Spud here if they're not careful.
Yeah, definitely, but the downside of that is Bruce Lee Harding, his ERS is not on a high level. He should be saving right now while he is behind his own teammate. Just use the... Oh, JPA almost lost it there. That was close, mate. But he kept the car. That's a good effort from him. But Bruce Lee Harding, I would imagine he would save his ERS and just make use of the DRS from his own teammate. Then maybe they could switch around and do the same strategy again, but this is playing into the hand of Sir Spud as it looks.
I've just noticed something. I'm just looking at the tyres at the moment, Mark, and Louis came into the pits and has put on a new set of soft tyres on. So he started on soft, so he's going to have to pit again, which is an interesting strategy. So Louis expecting to be really fast at this stage of the race, but he's going to have to pit again.
Yeah, he's going to have to pit again. Good thing
so
you
is Daryl. Daryl has also come out on a set of soft tyres. So both the Red Bulls are going two-stop, which is very surprising. So Daryl's going to be mega quick, but he's going to have to pit again. So he's going to have to build that really big gap in order to maintain his lead. Is that not a bit weird? That seems very surprising, that.
Yeah, I'm really surprised on that, but maybe the tire wear they just couldn't get the tires to work for them. While we see Bruce Lee Harding take the lead of this race from JPH, and Sir Spud is really close. For a minute I was thinking he would get both those Alpines out of his way and get it done and over with, but he is still behind, but he is pushing and searching for a gap like he can. Let's see, he is looking for the overtake. He goes a bit wide there. It is one of the most tricky corners to break. But there they go, both on the DRS, on the Bruce Lee Harding. I reckon he will be a sitting duck on the start-finish straight. With two cars right in his gearbox, both with the DRS wide open. What can he do to defend them? I don't think he can do much. But let's see. Maybe the Alpines are playing the team game here, and they are just trying to keep Sir Spud behind the both of them. But Sir Spud here is definitely trying to make this overtake work. Same for JPH in the other Alpine. And neither of them is managing to do so.
A bit further back, we've just seen a position change. Towel has been overtaken by Michael. Michael, who came in for a set of medium tyres, as you see, so Spud has finally got his battle on with JPH there for the second place. And what this is doing, what this is doing though, is this is just bringing Daryl into contention with these guys, and he's flying on the soft tyres as these two are side by side. What seems to be every corner.
That was some good racing there. So Spud, he just is in front, but JPA will be looking to fight back now with the DRS. On the next straight, get close to him, and on the next start-finish straight, I'll bet you he will be trying the overtake again. As you mentioned, Daryl, he is closing in only 3/10 behind. But yeah, he is on the other set of soft, so he will need to do the other pit stop. Maybe the top three guys, they can do a one-stop, so it will be even out. But there he goes. Daryl, he is looking for the overtake. He is fast. How is his exit? It's way better. He already got him. Wow, even before the DRS zone. And Sir Spud, he is going to the lead of this race on an overtake on Bruce Lee Harding. Will Bruce Lee fight back? And no, he's not capable to do so. It's looking really close at the top of the field, and this battle for the podium positions is heating up, mate. With Daryl needing to do one more pit stop, but the same will be for JPH, Bruce Lee and Sir Spud. So they will be defending, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. The difference is Sir Spud and Bruce Lee Harding, they're going to be seen go on to the soft tyres, I should say, sorry, but Daryl will have to go on to those medium tyres, as Daryl now looking to try one round the outside of Bruce Lee. That's a very ambitious move there, but surely he will easily pass the Alpine there, and there goes Daryl up into second. And you can imagine, Mark, in the next few corners, I think Sir Spud is going to also be victim to this Red Bull, which is absolutely flying on those newer soft tyres.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think Sir Spud can do anything about that. Only 4 tenths. Maybe he will get him already on the start-finish straight. Let's just see if Daryl can pull it off. They are going to the last corner of the circuit. There they go. Traction is good for both drivers. Daryl already in a slipstream. And Suspect is going into the pits. He's not letting him overtake on track. So he will be in the pits on his mediums after only 13 laps.
And so is Bruce Lee Harding is also pitting. And Bruce Lee Harding has gone on to a set of hard tyres as well as Sir Spud. I think Sir Spud has also gone on to a set of hard... He has. So do they know something we don't hear, Mark? There's a lot of people going on hard tyres here for the second half of this race.
Must be that they are seeing something we don't. I honestly expected a lot of one-stops, soft to mediums or mediums to soft.
Sorry. There's a great battle here for 5th place between Michael, Towell and Tynus. They were pretty much 3 wide at one point through one corner. Michael has ended up the victor of this at the moment. Towell and Tynus on the soft tyre compared to the guys ahead on medium tyres, is trying to find a way past in his Aston Martin, and now they're going down that back straight for the next lot of DRS. Can Michael hold these off? I can imagine Tynus should be flying, but he didn't get a good traction out of that corner, and he's dropped some time. Towell unfortunately could not get past Michael either. This battle looks to be heating up for 5th place between these 3.
Yeah, definitely. I almost missed this battle, but it's looking really close and some good racing. Tauri will be looking to get Michael Lutke on the next DRS straight. Otherwise, he himself will be overtaken by Tinus. And Tinus already looking really close. Tinus wants to just get it done and over with. There he goes. His traction is good. He's already in the slipstream. 110 behind. DRS wide open. There we go. And he's got it done, and he is also next to Michael Lutke. What a move. Can he pull this off? If yes, he got both cars in just a couple of corners, but he just can't. That's unfortunate for him. But that was looking to be a great move, and he already got Saudi, of course, into turn 1. He was so close to get a Michael Lutke as well. But he will be just stuck in the slipstream, and he will have another opportunity. I'm sure of that. On his softs, of course. What do you think? His softs are 6 laps old. The mediums of Michael Lutke are 4 laps old. From what point will the mediums of the McLaren driver will be in their advantage?
Well, you can't imagine Tynus is going to get much more life out of those soft tyres. And I was going to ask you a question as well. Lap 15, would you put on a set of soft tyres? Because that is exactly what JPH has done. JPH, the other Alpine guy, is on a set of soft tyres. So there's a mixture of strategies here between the Alpine guys. JPH on the soft tyres with, 13 laps left. He's got surrounded by hard tyre guys. He's already caught Sir Spud. And JPH should easily pass the Spud on those soft tyres. Can he make them last to the race? That'd be some effort if he does.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough task, I think. At the end of the race, and especially the final 2 laps, I think, his tires will be done. And he will just be hoping to not get any kind of tire issues. Yeah, if he can manage to do it, he has done really good. He just got the move on Surspot done with his fresh set of tires, of course, against the hearts of Surspot. He could have done nothing about that. Yeah, it's a bit early to go on softs to the end. Maybe he is gambling a bit on a safety car, but he would be a weird gamble if you ask me. Same as saying Russell Jones in the chat. A lot of funky strategies here. I agree with you, mate. I would say it was a pretty straightforward one-stop, but the F3 guys are saying something different. And so far it looks to be the really close fight for especially the podium positions. Daryl, meanwhile, still in the lead with almost a 10-second gap to his teammate Louis in P2. But they need to pit again. At least Daryl will need to, while Tinus picks up a 3-second penalty. So the
I
penalties.
can't call this. Can you call this at the minute? I can't call this. Daryl looks to be the strongest for the race victory, as we see Michael. No, Michael. I thought Michael was coming to the pits, but he isn't. He feigned a pit stop there, but Louis and Tinus are in. Louis in for a set of medium tyres, and you'd imagine the same as Spud also. Is Spud? No, Spud didn't pit. Apologies. As we've seen, lots of different positions changed there. My apologies. So you can imagine then if Louis, the teammate of Daryl, is pitted, will we be seeing Daryl pitting in the next lap or so?
Well, he needs to go to the medium, so I expect him to see him going into the pits pretty soon. But his soft tires, I would say, are still in a really good position, while Cosmesi is picking up a 3-second time penalty as well. That's his second one, so he's got a 6-second penalty, and he is in the last position at the moment, so it's not looking to be his evening tonight. So yeah, it's like impossible to say who will end up on top of this. Saudi is closing in on Michael Lutke pretty fast now. He's got a bit all the mediums on his car, but he looks to have the pace on the McLaren. They're going onto the back straight. And Daryl is going into the pits right now, as we just mentioned. There we go. It will be interesting to see where he will be back out on the track. Let's see, he had a healthy gap. But let's see, where will he be?
He's definitely going to be at least second, because Michael's just passed him now. But Towley has also passed Michael. What a move that is. Can Michael hang it out the outside? Towley trying his hardest in that Mercedes, and Michael just about keeps that Mercedes behind, but is now Towley going to have another go? Michael does have the DRS to defend, so yeah, Towley unfortunately doesn't get that move done. And what it has done, Mark, has put Daryl into P5 with a battle of O. Stephen and JPH ahead, and them two are wobbling. And Daryl, can he sniff out an opportunity to take these two early on? But he doesn't want to get caught up on this, does he, and get taken out himself?
No, definitely not. And I think he's not happy with JPH in the Alpine on the fresh pair of softs in front of him, because he is on the mediums, of course, so he will be looking to, he needs to overtake this car, but yeah, that's going to be a tough task if you ask me. He is on the fresh softs, Daryl is on the fresh mediums, but the softs are easily better, especially for the first, I'd say, 7 laps. So JPH, he needs to create somewhat of a gap if he's capable to. But yeah, let's see if he can actually manage to do that. Well, Taudi is fighting back to Michael Lutke. Again, penultimate corner. Will he get him back on the DRS now? Start finish straight. He is not using his ERS. He only got 19%. No, he backs out of it. Michael Lutke has easily more ERS saved, almost 50% for the McLaren driver compared to the Mercedes driver. But Saudi with a better exit here. Will he get him? Wide open DRS, ERS open. There he goes. And he doesn't get the move done. Michael Lutke is still on the outside, I believe. No, it's done and over with. Taudi back into the lead of this race with Michael Lutke in P2. While Daryl is looking to get closer to JPH.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on this battle while you was watching that battle for the lead, and this is going to get very frustrating for Daryl, because if he can't get past this Alpine on soft tyres quickly, he's going to make it difficult for himself to catch up with second and first place ahead. They are about 3.5 seconds ahead, 4 seconds ahead of him. So Daryl needs to get a shift on here if he's going to get that race victory, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely. He just needs to get a move on and get the move over and done with. But yeah, it's easier said than done for us in the commentary box.
Oh yeah.
Those drivers are out there, and I'm sure they are giving it all. They were looking really close now. Will he get him on the straight with the DRS? He has a good shot of doing it. And there we go, DRS open. Yeah, this looks to be an easy move for him. Yeah, he's done it. he is in front of JSPH.
Michael has retaken the lead. Sorry to interrupt you there, Mark. Michael has retaken the lead from Towley, just as you were following the Darrell and JPH battle. We've got another new leader, and this is turning into a fascinating final 9 laps, Mark, because we could have a 4-way battle here for the lead, because Darrell and JPH are very quickly catching up with these two squabbling at the front.
Yeah, and I think they will be. Darrell will be going to the end. Towley will be going to the end, in my opinion, and Lutke as well. So there's a straight shootout between those guys, and I just cannot see JSPH making those softs last to the end. It will be really tricky for him to do so. So Spud going is looking really feisty against Steven there, 3/10 behind. Through the long right-hander. We didn't see anybody lose it there. That's good to see. I expect it to be really difficult there. Rens Jans is saying JSPH is gonna struggle badly with the softs. Yeah, I imagine he will. I imagine he will, mate. He is going to have a really hard time, especially at the end of the race. I just cannot see him making it work, but you know, you never know. Those guys are all capable of doing incredible stuff, and Sir Spot is going for the overtake here. He's got it done on Steven, even before the braking zone. Steven tries to fight back. He's got the DRS. Will he get the Haas driver back immediately? Not right now. He will need to wait at least one more lap to get it done.
Yeah, meanwhile, Mark, there is a good battle for P7 a little further back from the front. Azriel and Louis fighting over P7. They're swapping positions, but the interesting thing there for Louis is that Azriel has penalties, whereas Louis doesn't. Tynus is also trying to get involved in this. He's around 2 seconds behind this battle, but Louis trying his hardest to claim that 7th place and have any opportunity then to reel in Steven in 6th place, who's doing a decent lap on those hard tyres. There's a good battle with Spud for 5th.
Definitely, mate, definitely. I am riding with Darrell Whiffen at the moment. JSPH is still in his DRS zone, but he is only 3.5 tenths away from Towley in P2. He is going to the start-finish straight right now. He's got a superior exit.
Oh.
And Towley is going into the pits.
Wow.
I think those guys are seeing something I don't. I didn't expect him to come in again. But he is coming in for a fresh pair of softs. He will be hoping for a safety car right now. Because otherwise, I think his race... Well, it's not over, of course. He got the softs and he can attack in the final laps, but it's going to be a tough task to fight back into the front.
Meanwhile, just further back, the battle between Azriel and Louis carries on. This is now for 6th place because of Towley's pit stop. Azriel must be frustrating the hell out of Louis as Azriel runs wide there, and they come round to that tricky braking zone before the back straight start finish. Can Louis now get something done and get the overtake? But Louis runs slightly wide, and the traction out of that corner is not good enough. I don't think even with DRS is going to get the move done here either. So Louis getting himself very frustrated, stuck behind that Haas. He just cannot get past that car at the moment.
No, I can imagine he is really frustrated right now. At the same time, the Alpine and the Ferrari of Bruce Lee Harding and David Forty are fighting each other. David on the fresh pair of softs. He just got a move done and immediately has a gap of almost a second on Bruce Lee Harding on his hards, his 7 laps old hards. We're getting to the end of this race. What do you think? Who will be on the podium tonight? Let us know in the comments. And Aaron, what are your podium predictions? If you're looking at the guys right now, what do you say?
I think JPH could be in some trouble here because he's dropped out of that DRS now of Darrell, and he's dropped to 1.7 seconds behind. Are those soft tyres finally giving up on him? Can Sir Spud gain on him and get a sneaky podium here? Because if those soft tyres, they will surely, if they're going off now at lap 23, he's still got, oh, has Michael spun it?
No.
Michael spun it, man. Oh, no.
Oh no, he will be kicking himself. I did not see what happened exactly there, if he spun it on his own. Or
I think he was on his own, yeah, into that, you know, that tough braking left-hander. I think I just saw his car go round, unfortunately, and that's a gift for Darrell, isn't it? That's an absolute gift. So Darrell should now, touch wood, I don't want to curse him, should walk this race now, because JPH is falling quite quickly away from the front of this pack.
yeah, and this put Sir Spud on his hard tires, 8 laps hold hards in P3. And he will be looking really good for a podium position. Of course, Michael Lutke is close behind him, same for O'Steven. But yeah, I can see this hards going to the end fairly easily compared to the other guys.
The good thing, I think, for JPH at the minute is Sir Spud is still not really making any inroads on JPH. He's still around 3 seconds behind the Alpine. You'd have thought that time would slowly start to come down, but Sir Spud might have to worry about with Michael now, probably quite frustrated he's just made that mistake. Michael will be wanting to at least get himself back on that podium, so Sir Spud probably be looking forward at JPH, but he'll have to definitely look behind because Michael will want to take that position back.
Yeah, he will. Meanwhile, there's already a nice battle going on for P6 on the track between Louis, Azurel and Tines. Azurel and Tines unfortunately have penalties onto their name. Both will have a 3-second penalty added to the time. And we have another yellow flag. And JPH has lost it in his Alpine. Oh no. That's so unfortunate, and this will all play in the hand of Darrell and Sir Spud, of course. They are looking really good, and Rens Jans is saying in the chat he thinks Stoudy has shot himself in the foot with his extra pit stop, and I think you are right, mate. He is not fast enough at the moment to be back at the front. I would have gambled on those mediums to last for the whole race.
It's interesting here now, Mark, because Louis, now he's got past Azriel. Azriel's still there, but Louis is just about a second or inside that DRS. He keeps flickering between a second and just under a second of O'Steven. O'Steven's got 15-lap-old hard tyres on at the moment. Louis now under the second for the DRS, and Louis potentially here could have an opportunity to steal a podium place because Michael ahead is on 14-lap-old medium tyres, whereas Louis... Oh, Louis lost it! Louis lost it out of that corner. He's got it back again.
Oh,
but
no.
Louis... Oh, commentator's curse there, Mark, or what?
Yeah.
Commentator's curse. He was looking like a potential podium, and now finds himself once again behind Azriel.
Tines has touched the back of Louis, his car, trying to overtake him and lost a lot of time there. He tried the overtake on Louis. Louis had a poor exit, but he just touched the back of the Red Bull car in front of him. This cost him a lot. And this battle for the podium positions, P2, P3, is heating up, I think. And if this is a commentator's curse, I'm really sorry for Darrell, but he's got this in the bag. He just needs to be consistent, stay clean. And this race is his. But behind him, Sir Spud, Michael Lutke, O'Steven, Azurel. He's still got a time penalty, that's unfortunate. But Louis as well, they're all in this fight for the podium positions.
Yeah, is this all playing into Sir Spud's hands? He's doing a stellar job of holding all those cars behind on those hard tyres. Can Michael do anything about it? I think Michael can't believe his luck, you know, after making that mistake, and he's back up into third place. Surely on the medium tyres he might be able to get something done, but Sir Spud driving really well this evening. I have to say, Spud's done a really good strategy, really good race so far. He's kept his car clean, he's done no mistakes, don't want to jinx him. And Spud keeping both those McLarens, Asriel and Louis, behind him for now, but we've still got 3 laps left. Can Spud hold on and claim what, in my opinion, would have been an unlikely podium this evening?
Yeah, my feeling is Michael Lutke will go for the overtake right now. They will go onto the back straight. One more corner to take and they will be on the DRS straight. The gap is only 3/10. But those mediums, 15 laps old, they are not going to be good anymore. And those rear tires, they are trying to kill the car, I think. He had not the best exit, so that... yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. Meanwhile, behind him, there we go. The Red Bull tries to overtake the McLaren there, but just couldn't make it. But Asriel is up into P4, mate, there. What is happening here? Those cars are so close. Louis on the overtake on O'Steven. O'Steven tries to fight back, but he doesn't have the grip to do so, and Louis is up to P5, but with the penalty of Asriel, that's a P4.
Yeah, I think Louis would be kicking himself, you know, if he hadn't made that slight mistake the previous lap, he could be right onto the back of Michael here for a podium place. And Michael, I think you're right, you know, those medium tyres are gone on Michael. He cannot get anywhere near Spud. The traction out of the corners to the DRS, he just cannot get going. And when he finally does build up some momentum, the straight's over. So Spud, as long as Spud makes this nice and clean for the next couple of laps, I think P2 is highly likely for him here, because Michael's not making any inroads. Asriel all over the back of Michael now, so Michael is going to have to look behind himself a lot in a second, because Asriel is flying.
Definitely, Michael is just going to look for a good exit out of the last corner. Is he getting it right now? He is closing in. He is closing in. Here he goes. He's using everything he's got. He's got no ERS left. He used all of it. Spud trying to brake next to him. Ooh, it's still side by side. Oh, that's close racing there.
Here comes Asriel.
Here comes Asriel. Into P3. He is over. What a move. But Spud somehow manages to stay into P2. That's really impressive. But behind him, this fight is heating up now. So many guys into the fight of that final podium positions. And Asriel, don't forget, he's got the time penalty behind his name of 3 seconds. Meanwhile, Taudi also picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Oh.
That's unfortunate. That will cost him one
Towley's
position.
just spun it, unfortunately. In 9th place, Towley's just spun it.
That's really unfortunate for him. Was not his race today. He had some great pace, but he just couldn't get it together on track, on the race, and that's just the point where it counts. And he will be looking to fight back.
I honestly think Louis still has a chance here of a podium place. Michael's just run very, very wide, and it's given an opportunity for Louis. But the problem Louis got is Michael will be able to have DRS to defend, but Louis has had such a better run out of that final corner. Here comes Louis for 4th place. Louis on the overtake. There he is for 4th place. Asriel overtakes his teammate into 2nd place, and Louis now all over the back of Spud on the final lap. Can Louis steal 2nd place?
Whoa, this is so close. And Asriel, he will be kicking himself for the time penalty. He is driving a brilliant second half of this race. But Spud, I don't think he is going to give this away. He's got the DRS on his teammate, and he will get the P2, I think. But Michael Lutke also really close behind Louis there in the final lap. Crazy stuff. Louis is thinking, what do I need to do to get that move done and dusted? He is just trying to stay within the 3-second gap, I think, from Asriel. And if he manages to do so, that will be a podium for him. But Michael Lutke...
I think You might want to focus on Daryl as he brings it round for the final few corners. He's drove a superb race. I'll keep an eye on the battles behind. But Daryl, what a race it's been. We questioned his two-stop strategy, but he's proven us wrong this evening, hasn't he?
Definitely, he made it work. He made it work, and he is entering the start-finish straight. He has crossed the line, and he has won the first race of Bahrain of the season 14 in the IRL F3 League. Congrats to him. Sir Spud manages to take, oh, this is going fast, P2, Louis P3, Michael Lutke finishes in P4, with Azrael only 1/10 behind in P5. Oh, Steven on a 20 laps old hearts in P6. Tines finishes in P7. David 40 on his soft tires will be P8. Bruce Lee Harding finished P9, and now we are seeing JPH getting the last point position in P10. Tauli is still driving around. He's not across the start-finish line at the moment. He will be right now. Will be P11. JP is getting the P12. And it will take a couple of seconds for the last guys to cross the line. Here we see Jolly. He picks up another 3-second time penalty at the penultimate corner, I believe. That's a bit unfortunate, but it won't cost him any more. There he goes through the final corner. And the fireworks are there, but I'm afraid they are not for him, but for our race winner, Daryl Whiffen. What a race. He proved me wrong on the strategy, I think. He did a brilliant job.
He did indeed. I did not expect a two-stop strategy evening, but congratulations to Daryl. He was absolutely superb this evening. I'm just gonna try and get these guys into our commentary box for a quick chat, and we'll be able to soon hear how the race went for those guys. But overall, Mark, who would you pick for driver day? Is it as obvious as Daryl, or would you go with someone else?
Well, of course, Daryl, he's done 0 mistakes. He has been consistent throughout the whole race. He was just the man to beat today. But for the driver of the day, I also need to be looking at Sir Spud and Louis. They were starting in respectively for P14 and P13, and they finished both on the podium. They drove an amazing race. So yeah, that's really good. David 40, by the way, picks up the point for the fastest lap with a 1:29.1. So that's a really good thing. Meanwhile, if you're watching the stream and you really like it and you enjoy the racing here at IRL, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel. It's really much appreciated, and it can really help us out. So thanks for that anyways. And slowly we are getting our podium finishes into the chat, I believe. So I'm really looking forward to hear what they have to say about the race. Do we have
just,
all 3 of them in?
I'm just trying to get Louis in now. I can't add him for some reason. I think he's got privacy settings on, unfortunately. I'll try and message him. I don't know if you want to maybe start speaking to the guys while I... Oh, there you go. Daryl has added him for me. Thank you very much, Daryl. And there you go. There is Louis. So shall I get this underway then, Mark? And we'll start off with tonight's race victor, Daryl. Good evening, Daryl. How are you?
Evening, guys. Yeah, good, thanks.
Yeah, that was an interesting race this evening. Both me and Mark were predicting a one-stop strategy. You went with a two-stop. I'm not going to lie, we were probably doubting you a little bit, but we looked the foolish ones in the end. It looked like a comfortable race in the end for you.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I wasn't expecting it. Normally I warm up or practice by doing time trial, but recently I've been doing just the Grand Prix just to try and get used to the race pace and race strategy. And yesterday when I was thinking I'm going to go one stop, it's going to be medium hard. So that was my first run, it was a medium. And I saw everyone else was going soft, and my initial thinking was there's going to be bound to be a safety car, so I'll go soft and I can go to mediums later. But thankfully it paid off, and yeah, I wasn't really expecting it, so it was a bit of a shock, but I'm happy. So
Yeah, well, you drove an absolutely superb race this evening, so huge congratulations to you, and hopefully going forward, this is a good sign of things to come. So I'll come back to you in a second. We'll go on to second place. Spud, good evening, mate. It's a superb race from yourself this evening. I'll be honest with you, starting outside the top 10, I thought, could you get into top 5, top 6 place? That you must be absolutely delighted with that.
Oh man, I'm over the moon. Absolutely chuffed. Didn't think I'd get that far up because I didn't know what pace everyone else was. I knew Daryl was quick. There's no way I was catching Daryl. But yeah, I'm happy with second. Couple spun in front of me, which gave me a couple of spaces. Couple did the 2-stop, and I think the 1-stop was my only option. I don't think I've got the pace quite yet to do the 2-stop.
Well, you've got to make your own luck, haven't you? And the day some guys spin, you just kept it clean, and you thoroughly deserved the second place. And Mark was definitely impressed with you. So big congratulations on that, mate. I'm well impressed with how you've raced this evening. Moving on to third place, Louis. That looked like a very interesting race from your point of view. There was battles galore throughout that race, and I thought for a second you might have just stole second place. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case, but you did end up with a podium place. How was the race from your point of view?
Yeah, it was a hectic race. There was a lot of challenges and battles and stuff to deal with, and then I wasn't sure which strategies cars in front and behind me were on, and then I was just basically just trying to just keep it clean and pass when I could and not make any mistakes and cost vital positions. I mean, coming from quite far back, I would have been happy with just points, but to come away with a podium and a P3 is over the moon. Yeah,
most definitely, and congratulations on that. It's a good race for yourself and a good race for your team. So moving back to Daryl, if I may, it's a solid first week for your team, Red Bull. You're going into next week's race around Monza. Is it just a case of more of the same from yourself and Louis?
I believe so, yeah. I mean, we've now obviously been racing here for about 3 seasons, and we've always been unlucky with either penalties and not being consistent. So my plan this season was just to come in and get points consistently. I wasn't expecting to come in and get a win the first race. So I think for both of us, it is just to finish in the points, get as many as we can, and see where we end up, really.
Brilliant. Good stuff. Well, we're looking forward to next week. Congratulations, guys. And just coming back to yourself, Mark, that was a great first race for these guys and for us ourselves. I thoroughly enjoyed this evening.
Most definitely. I really enjoyed it. And congrats to all 3 of you guys. You did an amazing job. And Daryl and Louis, you proved me wrong. I'd say the 1-stop was the quicker way, but you proved me wrong. You made it work. Really well done, and I'm looking forward to see you guys compete each other again next week around Monza. Will be a really fun race. So thanks for that. Really cool, and looking forward to that. For now.
Cheers, mate.
No problem.
Cheers, guys.
For now, I would just like to say this was an amazing first race of the F2 season, I believe. And I hope you all enjoyed it. It was brought to you in partnership with Nailcode Hall, Gridfinder.com, and Driver61. If you liked what you've seen, please leave a like, leave a subscribe, and we hope to see you guys next week for round 2 around the Monza track, which will be hopefully close or even closer than today. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you guys next week. Cheers.